Look at this beautiful crowd tonight. I'm really excited to be here. But I would like a little audience participation. I want every single person to close their eyes, and I want you to imagine your closet. You're standing in front of your closet, and you're going through all of your clothes, and I want you to stop when you get to your absolute favorite garment. Why do you love it? Does it fit you like a glove? Does it make you feel sexy and confident? Was it the bargain of a century? Does it tell us a story about you? Does it remind you of a relative? Now imagine your closet with only your favorite things and get rid of everything else. Isn't that a wonderful idea? Well, ideas become words, words become action, and action becomes reality. So I want to talk to you about taking the slow fashion movement and putting it into action here in Charleston. So what is the slow fashion movement? Well, we are all aware of the slow food movement. We are acutely aware of what we put into our bodies and where does it come from. We're proud to spend more money on organic produce, and we are looking for free-range this and hormone-free that, and we want to shake the hands of the farmer that grew the dinner on our plates. It's second nature for us to recycle bottles and bags and containers. So let us take these ideas from the slow food movement and just put it into the slow fashion movement. What I'm concerned with is that we're losing that connection we once had with clothing. We're fighting to connect with food, which is a basic need and nourishes us. And clothing is also a basic need, but beyond that, it's a way to express ourselves, and it's a way that we communicate with one another. The slow fashion movement has already begun, or I should say it's having a reawakening. It's spreading across the United States, and it's a response to fast fashion. Well, what is fast fashion? It's made up of the large-scale retailers that are producing clothing at prices that cannot be beat. These retailers are cranking out breathtaking amounts of nonstop trends from season to season. We all know we live in a world of extreme excess, and America is a consumer nation, period. The fashion industry plays a huge part in this. Fashion is easily the second largest consumer sector behind food, but you might be surprised to know that only 2% of the clothing that is consumed by us is made by us. We all know that mass-produced clothing moved overseas so we could take advantage of cheap labor, which then in turn meant cheaper prices for us. We have spoken, we demanded cheap clothing, and we got it. I promise I won't look at my cards too much. Independent designers all over the U.S. and Charleston, we cannot compete with fast fashion prices. Independent designers, they're doing everything themselves, or they have to pay premium prices to have their clothes made here in the U.S. Labor is labor, and it costs money to pay skilled craftspeople who deserve a living wage. There is still a disconnect between the consumer and the sustainable slow fashion movement. Without the consumer buy-in, the movement will progress slowly. Yes, there will be an initial investment. The idea is we buy fewer clothes that last year after year instead of inexpensive clothing that is designed for obsolescence. As consumers, we have to prioritize how we spend our money. One way to prioritize is to spend a little more on local fashion. And the second idea is, and this is not a new idea, is to spend a little more to have your clothes made, all of your clothes made for you. There is a certain mystique that goes along with the whole process of custom-made clothing. It's just so elegant and luxurious and is only for a privileged few. But I want everyone to dream with me. Because what if there were custom clothier shops on every corner like Starbucks? They would all have a recognizable logo, and it would be common knowledge that you could walk into these shops and have clothes made expressly for you within your budget. Shopping would take on a whole new meaning. You would walk in, be greeted by a receptionist, be matched up with a designer and seamstress who best fits your personal style. Measurements would be taken Or, you know, maybe a digital body scanner would take your measurements, patterns would be drafted and kept on file for your next visit. It would be like going to the doctor once or twice a year. You could design your entire wardrobe, wear year after year, and only return for mending and fittings. Isn't that a wonderful idea? But I know some of you are saying, but I love shopping. I don't want to stop shopping. But you have to remember, fast fashion, you know, yes, it satisfies our instant, you know, retail therapy, like that want for that instant retail therapy. But mass production, it creates a lot of waste and it depletes our resources. Mass production, you know, we sacrifice quality, poor fit, lack of thoughtful design. These are the things that we want to bring back. So what can we do right now to reduce, reuse, and recycle? Let me remind you that first word is reduce. We want to buy less, quality over quantity. We have to educate ourselves to know, you know, if the company is not transparent, we have to educate ourselves to be able to identify quality and ask the right questions. And then secondly, reuse. Share clothing, host clothing swaps, which I know most of you do. Those are fun. Thirdly, recycle. Extend the life of a garment. You know, give it another life. Redesign it. Alter it. You know, sewing is a dying art. Skilled seamstresses and tailors are an endangered species, sometimes referred to as unicorns. My dream as a seamstress is to teach others how to sew, the joy of sewing, and empower them to fix their own clothes. My dream as a pattern maker is to aid designers to push their designs to elevate Charleston as a source of forward thinking in sustainable fashion. So I want to leave you tonight with a challenge to go out and thoughtfully purchase something made in the US or in Charleston, and hopefully it will become one of your favorite things. Thank you.